presenter is going to be Camilla Aguilar, and let's give her a round of applause.
Hi, my name's Camilla, and I'm dedicating this poem to my dad. Poverty, such a horrible thing, like a punch in the gut. It changed my dad's life. He thought his life would be the same for years and years and years. Optimistic, faith, and determination. These are the three characteristics that helped my dad get through his hard time. He left poverty behind. He was a hard worker. Every second, minute, and hour was for his family. My dad could have seen the negative side of the situation, but he decided to see the positive. My dad had faith in himself, faith in his family, that they would survive, make it through the hard times. As Anna Moses once said, life is what we make it, always has been, always will be. My dad decided to make his life better for himself and his family. My dad got knocked down, but he got back up. He never gave up, not once, not ever. My father is a tough warrior, a hero, and Dad, I just wanted to thank you for inspiring me, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here today.
Hi, my name is Caden, and I'm dedicating this poem to my brother. Determination, strong social support system, and independence, all attributes that describe my brother. Playing football in the 7th grade, and then it happens. Crack. A broken arm, taking him out of the game for the rest of the season. Not being in the game for what seemed to be an eternity, my brother kept going. His love for the game drove him to his best. He trained in the off-season, coming back his 8th grade year stronger and ready to go. Playing hard to get stronger, day after day after day. My brother went to practice sharpening his skills. By his freshman year, he was ready to go. He started JV, but the first play of the first game, he was rushed right off the field. He tore his ACL in two like a piece of paper. It was a fight to recover, week after week after week going to rehab. Recovery finally achieved. My brother chose to live his life freely and not living in the prison of fear. Life tried to flatten him, but as Christopher Reed once said, a hero is someone who in spite of weakness or doubt goes ahead and overcomes anyway. My brother fought to recover, to then find out he couldn't play the sport he loved so dearly. His heart was broken. He did not give up. He found something new. He started riding dirt bikes. Thank you, Dakota, for not only being a great brother, but a great example. You have taught me you should never give up. The steamroll of life will try to run you over, but it is your choice to get back up.
My name is Elia Bissonette, and I am dedicating this poem to my dad. Friends, such a delightful thing, but also so hurtful. Sometimes a rose garden, other times a battlefield. For my dad, friendships went sour, leading him down a rocky cliff. High school, winning friends, good friends, but that didn't happen. Wrong friends, wrong path. Trouble with friends, snap. His life changed before his eyes. Andy Bissonette made wrong decisions like a student who learned from his mistakes. Determination, faith, and optimism. These things helped my dad get through the hardships. As Malcolm X once said, there is no better than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance the next time. Lost. No one understood. No one except for Carl Brown. He made him feel in charge, still of worth. He was his friendly follower. He got to choose, change or stay. He chose to change to a better person, someone who loves others. Dad, thank you for everything you have done. Thank you for being the best dad and for getting through the hard times. I love you.
My name is Tristan Boo, and I am dedicating this poem to my Aunt Bee. Never. You'll never be able to play again. You'll never be able to do this. You'll never be able to do that. Never is a word used more times in Brandy Villable's story than the sand on the beach. Aunt Bee had purpose, was a problem solver and a survivor. Brandy was a tank, slowly plowing through obstacles. One of the greatest athletes to go through her school, she had her eyes on the prize of a Division I scholarship. Playing multiple sports, gifted at all of them, breaking the junior high 400 track record in her first race. She went on to break the high jump, long jump, and triple jump records. But despite all these gifts, she was never able to use them to their full potential. She tore her ACL one year, blew out her other knee the next. Her life was full of questions. Why me? Why did you give me these gifts if I'm not able to use them? Why me? Why me? Why me? By now, she was in college, and usually things get better at this point in the story, but no. She had to go to the hospital, again. Her parents were thinking, what now? Why, our daughter, she doesn't deserve this. Unknown to them, their daughter's life was in danger. Her appendix was angry. It was on the verge of rupture. She was in extreme pain when suddenly, poof, all the pain was gone. She felt fine, but the rest of the year would be awful. She kept having the flu. She had to play nearly every basketball game and feeling like she would blow at any moment. Once she was left home alone and was found curled up in the bathroom. She was taken to the hospital immediately. What they would find would surprise everyone. My aunt shouldn't be here today, but by God's grace, my family gets to enjoy this loving mother. Unbeknownst to everyone, her appendix had ruptured a year ago while she was at the hospital. Luckily, it didn't explode, killing her in minutes. Instead, it just leaked slowly, like a leaky faucet, continually causing the constant flus. The Pele once said, success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Even now, knowing that she had all these injuries, she kept playing the sport she loved. She's now one of the most important employees at one of the most successful companies in the United States. Aunt B, you've inspired me to work through my struggles, and that life won't feel bad for you, or say that you've had enough obstacles. Because of my time talking to you, I've realized that I've had it easy in my life, and I've hoped that I have shown others the same thing.
Hi, my name is Claudio Garcia, and I'm dedicating this poem to my mom. Acceptance, flexible, and purpose. These are the words that describe my mom. Judith Garcia left her family for a long journey. Traveling from Zamora, Michoacan to the United States was not easy. Crossing the border, coming to a new country, the challenge hit her like a punch in the face. My mom and dad, newly married, facing millions of fears because this would determine their future. Like Martin Luther King Jr. said, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Fear held them tight, and it was scary for them to accept their new life without nobody to talk to. No family, no friends, nobody. This new world laid before her at her feet. Her husband helped her overcome the adversity, always fight for your goals, even though there's a ton of obstacles in the way. She suffered through loneliness without her family, just my dad and her. She fought every single day to adapt to her new life. My mom is a warrior. Thank you, Mom, for your resilience. And if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be here giving you this special speech. Thank you, Mom, and I love you so much.
My name is Alex Kapur, and I dedicate this poem to my mom. Strong social support system, faith, optimism, all the words that describe Leanne Gilliland. But one day, something unexpected happened. Crash. A car collided with my mom. It was a train wreck into her life. It didn't stop. Many hours later, it seemed like an eternity. Waking up, neck pain fueled the train. It kept going. It led her to the doctor. Month after month, the pain decided to move in and stay. And it started to get on her nerves. Leanne started to lose hope, but she didn't give up. She went from place to place, but she didn't forget about her family. My mom and her family had her family to help her. As Frederick Douglass said, I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I ended up where I intended to be. Her family helped her. They were there every step of the way. She was happy her fantastic family helped fight with her. Her and her family found a place that could help her. This place was a miracle. Mom, thank you for teaching me family is really important and not to lose hope.
Hi, my name is Anna Marty, and I would like to dedicate this poem to Carmen Riss. Faith, acceptance, and survivor. Ways to describe my best friend. A responsible, independent girl. She had to go through something kids should not have to go through. Born with extra skin on her body, surgery was required, leaving her with scars that made her feel uncomfortable. Like a ray of sunshine, she beamed through the pain and just took the darkness down. She is the survivor. That scar was there, day after day after day. Still there. She decided to keep pushing and be brave, letting courage race around her body. She is a wizard, using her magic to create happiness. Just like Eleanor Roosevelt once said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Pow! She knocked out that darkness and brought herself joy. Every tear shed brought sadness, but she had to overcome it and break through. Carmen Riss, you have inspired me in so many ways to face tough times, and I'm sure you have encouraged others to be resilient also. Thank you so much, Carmen, and continue to face reality.
I'm Karen Melendez, and I'm dedicating this poem to my mom. What is a strong person? According to the dictionary, it's having the power to move heavy weights and perform other physical demanding tasks. But when I think of strength, I think of Jessie Lopez, a strong human being who never takes her eyes off the big prize. My mom has always kept her faith up and never doubted herself. Nothing could ever compare to her strength. Facing anything that comes her way, leaving her family was the hardest thing for her. It was like turning her back on a treasure chest of jewels. Faith and optimistic. All alone. She lived in California for years and years with her brother and sisters. Years had passed with only being able to communicate over the phone. Although she was strong and determined, she wasn't always like that. Like Walt Disney once said, all the adversities I faced in my life, all the troubles have strengthened me. Life was a great garden of wildflowers. But like in any garden, there are weeds, and one weed tried to choke her garden. Her father's illness, and eventually death. Kaboom! It hit my mother like a truck. Heartbroken. She never thought this would ever happen. She loved her father so much, my mother was knocked down, although it was her choice to get back up. Days after months, but she kept her head high. She decided to look on the bright side and remember the good times. Thank you, Mom. You have taught me so much. Like you've always said, with a little bit of faith, you can overcome anything. You are and will always be the rainbow after the heavy rain. You have changed my life completely. Thank you, and I love you a lot.
Hi. My name is Cy Rose Paul, and I dedicate this poem to my grandma. Acceptance, faith, survivor. All characteristics that shaped my grandmother into the amazing woman I know today. A 2-year-old Debbie Hawkins had an accident that would shatter lives as easily as glass. A pan of boiling water set on the floor of her home, and with one misstep, her life was changed forever. Splash. A little baby showered with boiling water and fear. An experimental surgery, which left her with the scars of her story all down her legs and side. But my grandma chose to sideline her insecurities and grow up like a normal kid. My grandmother never chose to see herself as the victim of a tragic accident. She survived her struggles. Growing up was a challenge. Being different from her peers was very difficult. But she accepted herself. My grandmother kept a strong faith through her entire life, and she saw everything as part of something bigger. She knew everything would be all right, and she saw the bright side of the situation, and accepted her scars, embraced them even. After all, our scars are just part of our lives. As Albert Einstein once said, life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep your balance, you must keep moving. But my grandmother never stopped moving, never even thought about it. Never in a million years.
Grandma Debbie, thank you